Hello everyone, I'm Daniel Michael, your host, and in today's episode, we'll be talking about linking resources. It's glad to have you join me today, and I hope you all have subscribed to this channel. If you have not done so, please do so before we continue. And remember to turn on the notification icon so as to receive updates for upcoming videos. So today we'll be talking about linking resources. And in order for us to link resources in HTML, we make use of the link tag. In our introduction, we've initially talked about linking or link tags. We've talked about the link tags. So today we'll be seeing it or using it in practical. So to do so, we have to head over to our text editor and then open our previous work. It's loading and there we go. First, before we begin, I'll be telling you what attributes the link tag has. As you can see on my screen, we have the link tag already with the href attributes. The link tag has numerous attributes, which includes the character set, cross origin, the href lang, media, relationship, rev, sizes, target, type, and integrity. So let's go about all of them one by one, starting with the character set. The character set specifies the character encoding of the linked document. The character set specifies the character encoding of the link document. For instance, you are linking an image file. The character set is used to specify its encoding. Remember, I told you that the encoding for browsers is UTF-8. So by default, the encoding for whatever is linked to any HTML document must be in UTF-8. The next attribute is called cross origin. Cross origin specifies how the element handles cross origin requests. Now, there are cases where you will be requesting a particular document from an external source. Now, this cross origin helps the link tag or your entire document to specify how this element handles cross origin request. That is when you are requesting a particular document from an external site, not in your site. Let me specify that. Cross origin. That's the attribute. The next attribute I'll be talking about is the href. We've talked about the href when we're talking about anchor tags, but in this case, it specifies the location of the linked document. The href attribute is used to specify the location either within your site or an external site. Now, if you are looking for a document or specifying a document or getting a document from an external site, it must come with the cross origin. It's actually not compulsory, but for standard procedures, it's required. Then the href specifies the link or the path to the document you are trying to link to your HTML document. The next attribute is the href lang. This specifies the language of the text that is linked in the document. It specifies the language of the document that is linked to this particular document. For instance, we are specifying a cascading style sheet. The path to this cascading style sheet will be specified in the href attribute. Why the language of that cascading style sheet will be written here in the hreflang. The next attribute is called media. The media specifies on what device the linked document will be displayed, often used with selecting style sheets based on the device in question. Let me elaborate on that. The media attribute is used to specify what device do you want this particular style sheet to run on. Your website can be viewed from a mobile device and can also be viewed from a desktop device. Now, what particular style sheet do you want to be displayed on on a mobile device or on a desktop device? Then you use this media to specify that. We have, for instance, an example. We then create a style sheet. Let's say go into our document right here and create another folder called assets. Inside the assets, we then have another folder called CSS. Inside the CSS, we then have another file called style.css, or let's rename that to mobile style.css. And we also have desktop style.css. Now, these two files indicate that the first one, which is desktop, will run on desktop devices like laptops and other desktop computers, while the mobile will run on tablets and mostly Android phones or iOS devices. The mobile style sheet will run on those devices. Now, you don't want the both of them to display at once on a particular device. What you do is use the media attribute in the link tag of the HTML document to specify what device do you want this particular style sheet to run on. The next attribute we'll be talking about is the relationship, which is rel for short. This is required. It specifies the relationship between the current document and the linked document. It is required because it specifies the relationship between the document you are linking to the current document. That is your cascading style sheet, or maybe your icon image and this document. The relationship specifies the relationship between the both of them. The next attribute is called rev. I think the rev attribute is depreciated, but it specifies the relationship between the linked document and the current document. It should be depreciated because the relationship attribute also functions the same way as the rev attribute. So that should be depreciated. When I say something is depreciated, that simply means it has been removed from the particular that languages or the markup. For instance, for now we are using HTML. When I say something is depreciated, maybe you might hear that in the future. That's in the future episodes, or even in the future, you might hear that in some programming languages that a particular function, a particular step is being depreciated. That simply means it's no longer valid as a standard HTML or any other programming languages function or attribute, even elements. That means it has been deleted from a particular version of the programming language. As time goes on, programming languages are actually being updated. In those updates, there are a lot of fixes, ranging from security, fixing of bugs, and adding new features. So, while doing those, they try to simplify the language, number one. They try to simplify the language and fix the bugs. So when they find out that a particular function is doing something, but it's not doing it to a vast or to an extended, let me use the language vast. It's not performing it to a certain, it's not doing some certain actions. They then update that particular function, either replace it with an updated function or update that function itself to perform a new task as well as its previous task if it's not functioning properly. So that's not what we are talking here today. The next attribute we should be talking about is the sizes, which specifies the linked document resource only when the rel icon, that's the relationship attribute, has icon. I hope you understand that. If you don't, let me recap. I said the sizes attribute specifies the size of the linked resources only when the relationship is an icon. Okay, let me elaborate on that. You can use this link element or link tag to link an icon to your web page. If you visit google.com right now, okay, my internet is down. But if you visit google.com, on the on the on the left, close to the title bar, close to the title, you will see an icon here. Okay, there's an icon here for Chrome. This icon you see here is the icon that is linked using this link attribute. I mean, link tag. Sorry, I do make that mistake. I think it has mastered me. So the link element or link tag is also used to link the document icon or the entire website icon. In some cases, in your site, you will notice or previous sites you visited, you will notice that we have an icon for a shortcut on your mobile device or on your desktop computer. Currently, I have none, but if I should open a new tab or a new user, no, not this one. Let's use this and see. All right. Now, right here, I have shortcuts. As you can see on my screen, I have a tab here. I have an icon here called U for YouTube. I have another one for Gmail. I have another one for a different site. As you can see on my screen, this should be for Canva. Yes, this is for Canva. So that's the icon. These icons can be created using the link tag. Back to our topic for today. The next attribute I should be telling you right now is the target. Yes, you should be wondering why should you be targeting the link tag. But the target specifies where the linked document is to be loaded. Yeah, it specifies where the linked document is to be loaded, the target attribute. And I think it is also depreciated. If you want to actually know elements or attributes that have been depreciated, once you are typing it, once you're trying to type that particular attribute, right now I'm trying to type target on the link on the link uh, or it's either not depreciated, but they are not attributes of the link tag. Yeah, that's true. They are not attributes of the link tag. The target attribute is for the anchor tag. Yes, the target attribute is for the anchor tag. I think the rep attribute is for another tag. I can't remember that for now. It's not depreciated. It's not depreciated, including the target is not depreciated. Remember, we could also use it on the anchor tag, so it's not depreciated. The next attribute we should be talking about here is the type. So I think I should be showing you only the attributes that goes for the link tag. Does the character set go for the link tag? No, it doesn't. The character set doesn't go for the link tag. It doesn't go for the link tag, but the cross origin do. The href does, and the hreflang does. The media should. If you're typing it, it should tell you that, yeah, it does. This is the advantage of uh, VS Code. So once you're typing it, it automatically suggests it for you to ease you the stress of trying to remember a particular attribute or a particular function. It does that even for other programming languages. The rel attribute, yes, it goes in for this particular document. It goes in for the link tag, including the type. Now, in this case, if I'm to specify a style sheet, I could then say text slash CSS. That's the value of the type. Right? This one is this href is the path to the document. Is the path to the document that you're trying to reference right here. So the next thing that goes into the link tag is integrity. It specifies a base 4 encoded hash, either SHA 256 or SHA 384 or XHA 512 of the linked resources, allowing the browser to verify its integrity, its legitimacy. So the integrity is used to verify the legitimacy of any document being linked, any other external document or even internal document being linked to your particular HTML document. So the integrity is used to verify its legitimacy. Why many scripts, icons, and style sheets can be written straight into HTML markup? It is best practice and more efficient to include these resources in their own file and link them to your documents. What I'm trying to say is style sheets, that is styles to style your documents, and even scripts like JavaScript can be written directly inside your HTML document. For instance, aside from this link, this is outside the scope, although, but let's just do that. Style. It does the same thing as writing your style sheet for your styling your documents. You can write your entire style sheet inside this style tag. The style tag can be used to write your entire. For instance, let's create. Let me say. Let's create. Let's create a simple text. A simple text using the paragraph tag. This. Okay, no. Let's use it. Let's use the H1 so you see it clearly. Say this is my first website. Now, we want to change the color of this text. By default, if we should open it by using our live server, by default, this text will be in black color. Now, we can easily change the color of this text. We can easily change the color of the text by using this style tag. There are multiple ways we can do this. By the time we're talking about style sheets, you will then learn. By the time we're talking about cascading style sheets, you will then learn about how to you learn about inline style, external style sheets, and using this style tag. For now, I think we should just use this style tag to explain how you can be able to write your style sheet directly inside the HTML document, because I said many scripts and style sheets can be written straight into your HTML markup, but it's the best practice you write it in an external file. So when this is being written in an external file, you then use the link tag to actually reference the document. That is the path to the document. You then add the path to your CSS style sheet right here, or the path to your image. So right now we can actually write our um, style inside here. So now I'm referring to the H1, every H1 element or tag in this document. The color should be red. So I'm specifying it right now to be red. If you go to our browser and look, we then have red. It was initially black. If I should comment that out, you can see that by default is black. But when I say red, it turns red. So that will be the fun part when we go into Cascade style sheet. Moving on with our today's topic, the next thing we should be talking about is JavaScript in this particular HTML document. Now, standard practice is to place JavaScript tags just before the closing of the body. Remember I told you that nothing goes outside the body tag. Whatever goes outside the body tag cannot be controlled. Whatever is inside the HTML cannot be controlled by the browser. So whatever is outside the HTML cannot be controlled. So now script tags is by standard practice placed before the closing tag of the body element or body tag, yes. Just like this specifying script right here. You can see that it is before the closing tag of the body. That is where scripts are to be loaded. Loading your scripts last allows your site to, as in loading your script last allows your site to visually show up more quickly and discourages your JavaScript from trying to interact with the elements that haven't loaded yet. Like I told you, I've mentioned this before, that your script loads from the top right here to the bottom. So while your script is loading, if your JavaScript file is above in the head tag, it tries to interact with the document. It tries to look for the document or look for a particular tag that is specified inside of it to interact with it, maybe to modify its appearance before the entire site is being loaded. But it is best practice to place it right here so that everything about your site, including the style sheet, is being loaded properly before the HTML, the script actually start interacting with the document, thereby modifying maybe its font style or color, just as we did with the style. You might say, how can you change the color of a particular tag using scripts? It's possible. So when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. We can load script files just the same way we load the link files. But in this case, we then use the source attribute and specify the path to the script you are actually trying to reference in your document or your markup file. And we can also do this asynchronously. It's an alternative when JavaScript code being loaded is not necessary for page initialization. It can be loaded asynchronously, speeding up the loading page, speeding up the page load using async, and the browser will load the contents of the script in parallel. And once it is fully downloaded, will interrupt the HTML, passing in order to pass the JavaScript file. So what we are trying to say here is, while you are loading your site, we can use the async function and async attributes. The async attribute, it's a Boolean attribute indicating that the browser should, if possible, load the script asynchronously. This attribute must be used if the source attribute is absent. If it is included, in this case, it will have no effect. In this case, where we have the source attribute, it will have no effect. Browsers usually assume the worst case scenario and load scripts asynchronously. Yes, during HTML parsing. So that's the async function. It has no value. It's an attribute, but it has no value. Okay, yeah, it has a value. That's a value of true and false. But by default, it is false if the source attribute is there. But if the source attribute is not there, by default it will be set to true. Uh, so the next thing we should be talking about right now is the deferred attributes. The deferred scripts are likely async scripts, with the exception that that the passing will only be performed once. The passing will only be performed once the HTML is fully passed. When I say passed, like processed, the first scripts are guaranteed to be loaded in order of declaration, same way as asynchronous scripts. The deferred attribute is just the defer. It has no value, it's just that way it is. Like I said, the deferred scripts are likely async scripts. Yes, they are sync scripts, with the exception that the passing will only be performed once the HTML is fully passed. The next script I will be talking about right now is the no script tag. JavaScript no script tag. This tag by default tells you that your JavaScript engine is not enabled in your browser. It can be written just as simple as this: no script. Let's see what it does. No script. The no script elements represent nothing if scripting is disabled, and represent its children if scripting is disabled. It is used to present different markup to user agents that support scripting and those that don't support scripting by affecting how the document is passed. So the no script tag is used to display a message on the page. It's used to display a message on the web page when your JavaScript is disabled. Let's write this: JavaScript is disabled. So if we should go to our site right now and reload our document, you still see this is my first website. But we'll go to our web page, and then we'll have our tag here say no script. It's not commented. The document is not commented, or the no script tag is not commented, but it's not showing up on our site. But if we should view the source page right now, we then have our no script tag right here. The reason why the no script tag is not showing up is because we have our JavaScript engine enabled. Now, if you should go to settings, let's go to settings on the browser and then type in JavaScript. Go to site settings and look for JavaScript in the advanced section. Yeah, right here. You can see JavaScript. Let me zoom in so you see my screen. Right here in Chrome, this is where you find it. Go to settings, type for JavaScript, and down in site settings, click on it, scroll down to additional permissions, and you see JavaScript. So once you click on it, and then you currently by default it says sites you can use JavaScript. That is the JavaScript engine on the browser. Sites can use it. That's the default behavior. So if I say do not allow sites to use JavaScript, and then I go back to our site, which is this one, my first web page, and then reloads, you see JavaScript is disabled. Now, we can actually use JavaScript, or we can use style sheets, something to hide our entire web page if the JavaScript is not loaded. Yes, we can use JavaScript to hide our entire web content if the JavaScript is not loaded. So right now, this is the function of the no script tag. It is used to display a message whenever our JavaScript engine is disabled. So whenever you see a message like this, JavaScript is disabled, please enable JavaScript, blah, blah, blah. You should know that your JavaScript engine of your browser is disabled. So you can then head over to your browser settings and then search for JavaScript and enable it. The reason why you have to enable the JavaScript is because most modern web applications are running on JavaScript. Although we still have HTML and Cascade style sheet as their structure, but its base for manipulation or action activities, to animate your site, to perform some dynamic functions within your site without the help of the server, we use JavaScript to do those. So right now I have to enable back my JavaScript because I use it a lot. I use it a lot. Back to our site, I've enabled it. So if I should reload, and you see that the no script tag is currently hidden by default. The next thing we'll be talking about now is to link an external style sheet. We've talked about links, and now we want to link an external style sheet. Now we have we created two style sheets, one of which is desktop.style.css and mobile style.css. So if we want to link it into our current document, we just have to specify the path to the document by saying assets /css/desktop.desktop-style.css or mobile-style.css. So with this, we have actually linked our current style sheet to this document. Now we still have our style sheet here. Yes, we can still have the same thing. But when we were talking about cascading style sheet, I will explain to you in details the effect of this, having this and this at the same time. There is something else we can do to link. There are other ways we can still link our CSS files to this document. To do so, we can also use the style tag, and then say at, or first we specify the type and say text/CSS. Then we then say at import. We import not URL. We then import the path. We import the path. We import the path to the document. This can be used to import a CSS file using URL. All right. So with this, we can import our style from an external, that is within our document, into this document. Within our website, we can import the style using this approach, and we can also do so using this approach. But the only difference between the both of them is you can't use, okay, you can do the same thing. You can also do the same thing by specifying an absolute URL here and also specifying an absolute URL here. They both will import the style sheet. So the next file I will be telling you about right now, or the next thing I should be telling you about right now, is the favorite icon, also known as fav icon. So there are two of it. One of it, which is the shortcut you see I showed you on my other browser back then, and the other one is the icon. I showed you two stuffs. One is this icon you see right here, and the other is the shortcut I showed you right here. These are shortcuts, while this one above right here is the icon. So in order for us to create that, you require an image. You require an image to do that, and then using the link tag, we then specify the path to the image. So before doing that, we have to specify the relationship. The relationship could either be an icon or a shortcut icon. When we say icon, we are referring to this one right here. And when we say shortcut icon, we are now referring to those other icon I showed you down on my browser. So you can split this into two and then specify them with different images or different icons by saying type, specifying the type attribute, which can be image / png or image / jpg, whatever extension your file is, as your image is, whatever extension your icon is, you specify it there. But mostly it should be png or jpg. I don't really know if gif is possible, but that's what it should be. So the next attribute that should be used to specify the image is the href. So the href is used, like I told you, it is used to specify the path to the linked document. So right now we want to link our shortcut icon into this document. So we use the link tag with the rel attribute specifying that this is the shortcut icon. So whenever a user maybe bookmarks your website, it uses the shortcut icon to bookmark the site. Then you specify the path and then specify what type of link is this, what type of resource is this, image / png. So the icon also do the same. Okay, sorry, I made a mistake. The shortcut icon, the type of the shortcut icon is image / x icon / x icon. It is the icon that has the type. It's the icon that has the type of image / png or jpg, whichever one you want to use. So it also has the href to specify the path to the document. So either this icon or this one, they perform similar function. The icon specifies the icon you see right before the title of any web page, while the shortcut icon specifies an icon or a shortcut is used to bookmark the site on a particular device. We use the meme type image / png for png files and image / x icon for icon, which the icon files, that is the shortcut icon files, could either be .io files or even .png. So mostly we use .png or they use .io for standard. Standard should be .io. So a file named favicon.io at the root of your website will typically be loaded and applied automatically without the need of the link tag. If the file ever changes, browsers can be slow and stubborn without updating their cache. Yes, without the link tag, your browser or your documents can actually load your favicon.icon file automatically without the link tag. So that's also possible. The next thing I should be showing you right now is the alternative CSS. The alternative CSS. I think this video has taken a very long time and I should stop here for today, and in our next episode we'll continue from where we stop. So we'll be stopping here at the favorite icons. I say favorite icon. Yes, favorite icon for long, and favorite icon for short. So I'll be ending this video here currently, and our next video or episode, no, it will be a continuation. So we'll be talking about alternative to CSS. Do stay safe and remember to subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so. Turn on the notification icon to receive updates on our upcoming episodes. Bye for now.